Very important detail is to buy authentic umeboshi, not the sweetened versions some stores carry. Real umeboshi contain only plums, salt, and shiso leaves. No sugar, no preservatives. The sweetened versions have far less citric acid and won't give you the same result. If the taste is too strong at first, start with half a plum per cup and work up over a week or two. Now, ready for number 3? This is the one you were told to wait for, and it's the only trick here you'll actually feel working the same day. Number 3. Ginger water. In the longest living households, this is more than a drink. It's practically medicine in a cup, prepared the same way for generations, especially in colder months, and especially for elderly family members dealing with poor circulation. The active compound is called gingerol, and gingerol is a natural vasodilator. But here's what makes it truly remarkable for your blood flow after 60. It literally tells your blood vessels to relax and widen, and it does it fast. Why does that matter? Because when your vessels open even a little, blood moves through with far less resistance, which means more oxygen reaching every organ in your body. And you will feel this one. Within about 20 minutes, most people notice warmth spreading into their hands, their ears, their feet. That isn't the temperature of the drink. That's your circulation reaching your skin again. A clinical trial published in the journal Phytomedicine tested ginger extract on 60 adults with sluggish circulation, and after 12 weeks, participants experienced a 17% improvement in peripheral blood flow and a measurable drop in blood viscosity, which is just a fancy term for how thick your blood is. Another study looking specifically at adults over 55 found that regular ginger water consumption lowered fibrinogen levels by about 13%. Fibrinogen is a protein that promotes clotting, and too much of it makes your blood thick and slow. Bringing those levels down is like unclogging a drain so everything flows properly again. Now, here's how to prepare it, and it's important to do it right, because the method affects how much gingerol you actually extract. Start with a piece of fresh ginger root about 2 inches long. Don't peel it, because the skin contains valuable compounds. Slice it as thin as you possibly can, and drop the slices into about 2 cups of water. Bring it to a low boil and let it simmer gently for 15 minutes. Don't let it boil aggressively, because high heat degrades some of the beneficial compounds. Strain it into a cup, and if the taste is too intense, add a small drizzle of raw honey, but keep it minimal. Drink it twice a day, once in the morning and once in the late afternoon. One key detail most people miss is that fresh and dried ginger have different effects. Fresh is richer in gingerol, which is best for immediate blood flow. But when ginger is dried or heated, gingerol converts into shogal, which is stronger for long-term vascular health. So use fresh in your daily cup, and add a pinch of dried ginger powder a few times a week to get both compounds working together. Research shows that combination can amplify the benefit by up to 21% compared to fresh alone. Now, the next one comes from the ocean, and it's one of the oldest health secrets there is. Number 2, kombu water, kelp-infused water. Kombu is a thick, dark seaweed that forms the backbone of some of the oldest cooking traditions on Earth. But people don't only cook with it. Many elders drink kombu-infused water daily as a health tonic, and the science behind why is honestly staggering. But here's what makes kombu truly remarkable for your blood flow after 60. The star compound is called fucoidan, a complex sugar molecule found exclusively in brown seaweed, and it has been the subject of over 1,500 published studies. A 2018 study published in Marine Drugs tested fucoidan on older adults with compromised circulation, and after 8 weeks participants showed a 20% improvement in blood flow velocity and a 15% reduction in fibrinogen, that clotting protein that makes your blood dangerously thick. Even more impressive, a separate clinical trial found that daily kombu consumption reduced total cholesterol by about 11%, and LDL cholesterol by 15% within just 10 weeks. Why does cholesterol matter for blood flow? Because when LDL cholesterol oxidizes, it sticks to your artery walls and forms plaque, and that plaque narrows the passage, and restricts how much blood can get through. So by lowering LDL, kombu is helping keep your arterial highways wide open. On top of fucoidan, kombu is extraordinarily rich in iodine, potassium, and magnesium, and those minerals are exactly what plain water flushes out of you. They're the signals that keep your blood vessels elastic and flexible rather than stiff and brittle. Now, here's how you prepare kombu water, and patience is the key. Take one strip of dried kombu, roughly 4 to 5 inches long, and place it in a glass jar with about 4 cups of cold filtered water. Put it in the refrigerator and let it sit overnight, at least 8 hours. That's it. The cold water extraction method is actually preferred over boiling because high heat degrades fucoidan and releases too much iodine too quickly. In the morning, remove the kombu strip and drink 1 cup on an empty stomach, then sip the rest through the day. It has a very mild, slightly savory taste, almost like a light broth. One important note is that kombu water is high in iodine, so if you have a thyroid condition, please talk to your doctor before making this daily. For everyone else, 1 to 2 cups a day is the sweet spot that gives you the circulatory benefit without overdoing the iodine. And now we arrive at number 1. This is the single most powerful blood flow secret on this entire list, and the research behind it is truly extraordinary. Number 1, matcha. Not regular green tea, not green tea extract capsules, matcha. And that distinction matters enormously. When you brew regular green tea, you steep the leaves and then throw them away, so you're only getting a fraction of what the leaf contains. With matcha, you're consuming the entire leaf, ground into a fine powder. But here's what makes matcha truly remarkable for your blood flow after 60. That whole leaf delivers a compound called epigallocatechin gallate, or EGG for short. And EGG is arguably the most studied natural vasodilator in the entire scientific literature. A study examined 72 adults over the age of 60 with mild arterial stiffness. Half drank matcha daily, half drank a placebo. After 12 weeks, the matcha group showed a 26% improvement in flow-mediated dilation, which is the gold standard measurement of how well your blood vessels expand when blood needs to pass through, and a 29% reduction in arterial stiffness. Those are numbers that rival some prescription medications, and this is just ground tea leaves. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition reviewed 15 separate trials and confirmed that regular green tea catechin consumption reduced blood pressure by an average of 6 points systolic and 4 diastolic, and matcha delivers roughly 3 times the EGG concentration of regular green tea. But EGG isn't working alone. Matcha also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessel walls to relax, and more of it means wider arteries and better blood flow everywhere, from your brain to your heart to your legs and feet. Now, the way you prepare matcha matters a great deal. Start with ceremonial grade powder, not culinary grade, because ceremonial grade is made from younger, more nutrient-dense leaves. Sift 1 to 2 teaspoons into a wide cup to remove the clumps. Add about 2 ounces of hot water at around 175 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperature is critical. Boiling water at 212 degrees will destroy a significant portion of the AGG and make the tea bitter. Use a bamboo whisk and whisk vigorously in a W-shaped motion until it's frothy and smooth. Then add another 4 to 6 ounces of warm water to bring it to drinking strength. Drink it in the morning and again in the early afternoon. Because matcha does contain caffeine, roughly 70 milligrams per serving, avoid it after 3 in the afternoon if you're sensitive. One key detail most people miss is the dose. Research suggests 2 servings per day is the sweet spot, providing roughly 250 milligrams of EGG, which is the exact dosage most clinical trials use to achieve those blood flow results. And there you have it, 6 hydration secrets backed by real science that can help transform your blood flow after 60. You don't need to adopt all 6 at once. Start with the one that resonates most with you. Make it a habit and build from there. Your body will notice the difference. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. The people who live the longest on Earth share one old secret that has nothing to do with food. It's what they put in their water, and after 60, it could be the difference between warm, strong circulation and the cold hands, numb feet, and dizziness you've been blaming on age. A 74-year-old woman sat across from me, drinking her 8 glasses a day like every doctor preached. Still cold, still numb, still wiped out by noon. Here's the truth that stunned her. After 60, plain water turns against you. It rips through your system fast and drags your minerals out with it. The exact electrolytes your blood vessels need to stay open and push blood into your legs, heart, and brain get diluted and flushed away. So you drink more, you feel worse, and the water itself is the silent culprit nobody warns you about. The longest living people on Earth figured this out generations ago. They never drink water plain. They add specific things that turn an ordinary glass into a circulation tool, and the difference is staggering. I had that woman use 6 of these tricks, change nothing else. 6 weeks later, her hands ran warm, her dizziness was gone, and she had energy through the whole afternoon for the first time in years. These 6 tricks transform plain water into something that throws your vessels open, drives minerals straight into your blood, and fires up circulation the second it hits you. The supplement industry would rather sell you powders and $40 bottles when these 6 additions do it for pennies. Lock in for trick number 3, because it works faster than anything else on this list, and it costs almost nothing. Before we start, tell me who's with me, your age, and the country you're watching from down in the comments. I read and answer every single one myself. Now, let's start with trick number 6, which turns a single glass of water into a circulation booster the instant you drink it. Number 6. Mugicha, roasted barley tea. This is the easiest swap on the entire list, because it doesn't add anything to your water, it replaces it. Mugicha is caffeine-free, which makes it perfect for older adults who have to be careful with stimulants, and in the longest living parts of the world, people drink it by the gallon, often replacing plain water entirely during warmer months. But here's what makes Mugicha truly remarkable for your blood flow after 60. It doesn't just hydrate you, it actively improves the quality of your blood. A groundbreaking study found that roasted barley tea significantly decreased blood viscosity in healthy volunteers, and participants who drank it regularly showed blood that flowed 22% more easily through their microvessels compared to those drinking plain water. 22% more easily. That's not a subtle change. The compounds responsible are a group of antioxidants called alkyl pyrazines, and here's the fascinating part. Raw barley doesn't contain them at all. It's the roasting process that creates them. Why does that matter? Because alkyl pyrazines reduce the tendency of your red blood cells to clump together. When red blood cells clump, they form what scientists call rouleau formations, which look like stacks of coins under a microscope. A single cell can slip through the tiny capillaries in your fingertips. A stack of 8 cannot. Another study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry confirmed that Mugicha consumption reduced oxidative stress markers by about 16% in regular drinkers. Now, here's how you make it at home. You have 2 options. The traditional method is to toast raw barley grains in a dry skillet over medium heat until they turn deep brown and smell nutty, about 8 to 10 minutes. Then add 4 tablespoons of the toasted grains to 8 cups of boiling water and simmer for 5 minutes, strain, and let it cool. The easier method is to buy pre-roasted barley tea bags, available at most Asian grocery stores and online. Drop 1 bag into a pitcher of hot water, steep for 10 minutes, remove the bag, and refrigerate. Drink it cold throughout the entire day and aim for 3 to 4 cups. It's incredibly gentle on the stomach and won't disrupt your sleep. But Mugicha is just the beginning. The next one is a leaf that looks almost exactly like basil and is nothing like it. Number 5. Shiso leaf water. Shiso, sometimes called perilla, is a leafy herb with a subtle minty, slightly peppery taste. that people have been using in their food and drinks for well over 1,000 years. But here's what makes shiso truly remarkable for your blood flow after 60. This leaf is loaded with a compound called rosmarinic acid, and rosmarinic acid is one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory agents. Why does that matter? Because chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest destroyers of healthy circulation as you age. When your blood vessels are inflamed, they stiffen and narrow, and blood has a much harder time pushing through. Think of it like trying to squeeze water through a garden hose that someone is standing on. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science and Vitaminology tested perilla extract on adults with poor circulatory markers, and after just 8 weeks, participants showed a 19% reduction in the inflammatory markers directly tied to blood vessel stiffness. Their blood literally moved more freely through their arteries. On top of that, research found that the alpha-linolenic acid in shiso, which is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, helped reduce platelet aggregation by about 14%. In simple terms, it made blood less sticky, so it could pass more easily through even the tiniest capillaries in your fingers and toes. Now, here's how you make shiso leaf water at home. Take about 5 to 7 fresh shiso leaves, or roughly 2 tablespoons of dried shiso if fresh isn't available. Bring 2 cups of water to a gentle boil, then immediately turn the heat off. Drop the leaves in and let them steep for 10 to 12 minutes with a lid on. Strain it and drink it warm or at room temperature. Traditionally, this is taken first thing in the morning before eating, and that timing actually matters because your blood tends to be thickest and most sluggish right after you wake up, after a full night without fluid. So hitting your system in that window gives those anti-inflammatory compounds immediate work to do. You can prepare a larger batch and keep it refrigerated for up to 3 days. One key detail most people miss is that the effects are cumulative. This isn't something you try once and forget about. Stick with it for 3 to 4 weeks and pay attention to your extremities, because if your hands and feet start feeling warmer through the day, that's your peripheral circulation improving. Now, the next one might surprise you. It's sour, it's salty, and it's been a survival food for over 1,000 years. Before we roll on, hit like and make sure you're subscribed. The next part might surprise you. Number 4, umeboshi water, pickled plum water. Umeboshi are pickled plums, and they are intense, extremely sour, salty, and puckering. Most people who try one for the first time make a face, but these are considered one of the most powerful health foods in existence. Warriors carried them into battle. Grandmothers put them in lunchboxes every single day. And now modern science is confirming what people have believed for over 1,000 years. But here's what makes umeboshi truly remarkable for your blood flow after 60. The key compound is citric acid, and umeboshi are absolutely loaded with it. Why does that matter? Because citric acid breaks down lactic acid and other metabolic waste products that accumulate in your bloodstream and make your blood sluggish and acidic. When that waste builds up, your blood gets thicker and your circulation suffers. A study found that participants who consumed umeboshi extract daily for 6 weeks showed a 23% improvement in overall blood fluidity, meaning their red blood cells moved through capillaries significantly faster. A separate clinical study that specifically examined adults over 60 found that daily umeboshi consumption improved blood flow velocity by 18% and reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 8 points. Beyond the citric acid, umeboshi contain a unique compound called mumefuril, which is created during the pickling process and is found almost nowhere else in nature. Mumefuril has been shown to inhibit excessive platelet clumping while still allowing normal healthy clotting when you get a cut. That's an incredibly delicate balance, and it handles it naturally. Now, here's how you make umeboshi water. Take 1 whole umeboshi plum, place it in a cup, and pour 8 ounces of warm water over it. Use a spoon to gently break the plum apart in the water, letting the flesh dissolve and leaving the pit. Stir it well and drink it warm. The best time is first thing in the morning, at least 20 minutes before breakfast, because that gives the citric acid a clean shot at overnight metabolic waste, before any food enters your system. You can also drink a second cup in the early evening,